Walking away from a relationship can be one of the most transformative decisions you ever make. It's not about giving up or playing games. It's about reclaiming your power and redefining the dynamic. When you step back, something remarkable happens. The air shifts, emotions stir, and perspectives change. Suddenly, the person who once seemed so sure of their footing begins to question everything. This isn't just about creating distance, it's about creating clarity. When you choose to walk away, you send an unspoken message. It says, I value myself enough to step back when I'm not being valued. This act of self-assurance doesn't just affect you, it ripples through the other person's mind, causing a cascade of emotional responses. At first, they may appear indifferent, as though your absence hasn't made an impact. But beneath the surface, a storm brews. The routine they've grown accustomed to, the emotional stability they relied on, suddenly vanishes. This creates a void they can't ignore, a void that demands introspection and, eventually, a reevaluation of your worth. The initial shock of your departure is profound. Relationships are built on patterns, on the unspoken rhythms of interaction. When you disrupt those rhythms, it's like pulling the rug out from under someone's feet. They might not show it, but internally their mind races. Questions arise. Why did they leave? Did I do something wrong? What happens now? These questions aren't just fleeting thoughts, they are rooted in deep psychological responses. Studies show that emotional disconnection activates parts of the brain associated with physical pain. Your absence isn't just noticed, it's felt. As they grapple with these emotions, something powerful begins to take shape. Curiosity. Humans are naturally drawn to the unknown, and when you remove yourself from the equation, you become a mystery to unravel. Before, your presence provided a sense of certainty. Now, without that anchor, they are left to drift, wondering and questioning. It's akin to watching a film that ends on a cliffhanger. The unresolved tension gnaws at them, compelling them to seek answers. This curiosity doesn't just make them think of you, it makes them feel deeply about you. Emotional tension is a potent force, and as their questions go unanswered, their investment in finding those answers grows. Memories resurface, moments replay, and they start to piece together what your absence means. Even if they don't reach out immediately, their thoughts remain tethered to you. You've etched yourself into their mental landscape, and that's a powerful position to hold. Over time, the emotional void you've left behind begins to shape their perception of the relationship. In your absence, their mind starts to magnify your positive traits. This is a psychological phenomenon known as selective memory bias. The little things they may have taken for granted now stand out. The way you listened, how you made them laugh, your unwavering support. These memories become tinged with nostalgia, painting a picture of what was lost. This idealization often leads to a shift in their emotional state. What begins as withdrawal morphs into longing. They may not realize it immediately, but the emotional connection they once had with you starts to feel irreplaceable. The longer you stay away, the more time they have to process this loss, and the more significant you become in their mind. They might begin to check your social media, ask mutual friends about you, or even rehearse what they would say if they reached out. This isn't manipulation, it's the natural progression of emotional reinvestment. Fear often enters the equation as well. The fear of losing you for good can be a powerful motivator. At first, they may convince themselves that you'll come back. But as time passes and you remain steadfast in your decision, doubt creeps in. They begin to consider the possibility that you've moved on, that you're happier without them. This realization can be jarring, forcing them to confront the stability and security your presence once provided. Silence plays a crucial role in this dynamic. It's not about ignoring or punishing, it's about creating space. Silence speaks volumes, communicating that you are confident and self-assured. While others might rush to fill the void with messages or attempts to reconcile, your restraint sets you apart. It's a quiet declaration of your worth, one that resonates deeply. Each passing day of silence amplifies their thoughts about you, turning your absence into a presence they can't escape. Absence also creates scarcity, and scarcity increases value. When you're constantly available, it's easy for someone to take you for granted. But when you step back, your value becomes clear. This isn't about playing games. It's about allowing them to rediscover what they've lost. The brain craves resolution, and the more time they spend without you, the more they yearn to close the emotional gap. Unpredictability adds another layer to this process. Before, they might have felt they had you figured out, that they knew your next move. Walking away disrupts that narrative, introducing uncertainty that keeps their thoughts returning to you. This unpredictability isn't about being erratic. It's about showing that you're willing to prioritize your own well-being over chasing validation. It's a reminder that you have agency, that you're not afraid to walk away and mean it. As they navigate these emotions, their ego often comes into play. Losing someone who valued them can be a blow to their pride, forcing them to reevaluate their own choices. They might begin to question if they misjudged you, if they underestimated your worth. This internal conflict can drive them to take action, whether it's reaching out directly or sending subtle signals to gauge your response. Walking away also fosters emotional reflection. Without your presence, they are left to confront their own feelings and behaviors. This isn't just about missing you, it's about understanding. They replay past interactions, examining where things went wrong and what they could have done differently. This introspection often leads to a deeper appreciation for who you are and what you brought into their life. In the end, walking away isn't just an act of departure, it's an act of empowerment. It's about setting boundaries and standing firm in your self-worth. It's about giving the other person the space to reflect, to grow, and to rediscover your value on their own terms. And whether they choose to return or not, you've taken the most important step: choosing yourself. So, if you ever find yourself questioning the impact of walking away, remember this: it's not about leaving someone behind. It's about stepping into your power and allowing the relationship to evolve, or end, in a way that honors your worth.